Hello, everybody, and welcome into another Maple Leafs news and rumors here at the Hockey Writers. I'm your host, Matthews and Zator, and I've got Marc Sautter here, who recently switched over to the Maple Leafs coverage. He's still doing the Dallas Stars, but now splitting his kind of time here with the Maple Leafs as well. How's it going?
It's going good, man. Thank you for having me. Yeah, I was when I made the switch over to the Leafs, I thought I'd be double dipping in the playoffs. Unfortunately, 12 points out, anything can happen, Matty. But yeah, it's not going to be that way. But I grew up in Toronto. I love the city, love the team. So yeah, thank you for having me, man. Appreciate it.
Sure, yeah, and there's tons, even though the Maple Leafs don't look like they're going to make the playoffs, they'd have to go on a ridiculous run, and the other teams have to lose a ton as well.
Yeah.
So much. It's probably real tough.
Yeah, it's not happening, unfortunately.
But there is tons to talk about around the Maple Leafs, and that always happens. Even they're not making the playoffs. Actually, there's probably more to talk about because of that. Lots of drama. I mean, the first thing I want to talk about, though, is, of course, it's been a couple weeks since the trade deadline, but Bobby McMann, which, I mean, looking back at it now, how he's acclimated really quickly in Seattle, he's scoring, what has he got, like 4 goals already? I mean, the trade now looks pretty underwhelming. Were you surprised with they weren't able to get a first-round pick? It's looking like he probably was worth one.
Yeah, I wasn't. I know there's a lot of people in Leafland that were. I think if they were able to get a first round pick, I wouldn't have been surprised by that either. I think a second and a fourth, his contract's up, and he scored 20 goals last year. He has 23 so far this season. As you said, he got over the 20 goal mark with the Kraken. So I think he scored 15 the year before last year. So it's not like he's some proven 25 plus goal scorer. Definitely helps the players that he's been with, especially last season and this season as well. As bad as the season has gone, I think for me and overall, because people were upset about the Scott Lawton trade too, right? And the lack of trades for, say, OEL or other players. I think a couple things here. I think number one, the league knows the Leafs are over a barrel. The league knows the Leafs have no draft picks. They have no capital at all. And I think they also know the pressure that they're under from the media and the fan base. So I just don't think, what they got for Nicholas Waugh, I think really got the fan base excited about what could possibly be, because I believe that was the day before the deadline, if I remember correctly, or it was the Wednesday maybe. So I think that got the fan base kind of pumped up about what could happen on the actual deadline. But to me, I wasn't surprised about it. Would it have been nice? Of course. But I wasn't overly shocked by it.
True. I mean, and the thing is, he's on an expiring contract. I mean, I don't know if Seattle's going to be able to re-sign him. It could be just
that's the thing, right?
Right. So, I mean, we'll see how that all plays out. But I mean, that's kind of old news now. Looking at what's been happening around the Leafs, and biggest thing is Auston Matthews is out for the season. And I mean, that of course they were already kind of out of it already, but now without their best player, it's kind of really bleak that they're going to make the playoffs. I mean, the biggest thing right now, the story of the last week or so, is the lack of response to the Gudas hit in the game. He was laying on the ice and no one was challenging him. Nothing happened. It's looking like the team toughness is being questioned. And I mean, a Craig Berube coach team, you'd think that they'd be, I don't know, a line brawl or whatever, but something. Were you surprised that there was not even a fight or something like that after the hit?
Yeah, so honestly, Maddie, and I actually posted my thoughts on this on another platform, and I had someone in the comments tell me to get to the point, so I'll try to do it quicker now. As you know, or anyone who's seen me on here, I I just love to hear my own voice. Honestly, Matt, no, I wasn't surprised at all. And was I disappointed? Yes. Do I think that there should have been a response? Of course. Riley said so after the game, right? That's on me. William Nylander took the blame too, which like I would be shocked. I would be surprised if Nylander did anything, if we're being honest. Love the player, but I would be shocked. No, I wasn't surprised. And I think what I have been surprised by in the last week or so, right now, we're talking about it still. There's still articles being posted about it on our platform and others, still radio stations and, sports, TV stations across the city, across the country talking about it. What has surprised me since then is that there are just a lot of people on a lot of platforms who are acting surprised by this. And to me, what Maple Leaf team have we watched in the last 10 years that makes us surprised that they didn't do anything reactionary, Like, I think, and I can't remember, I should, but I don't remember who was on the ice at the time, but like Brendan Carlo, big dude, backs away from these moments all the time. You have guys who are feisty. You have guys who can get their hands dirty, but the makeup of this team for the last decade has been exactly what we're watching now. Matthews himself, and I should remember this. There was a slew foot that happened over the last couple seasons, hurt one of their players. And Matthews, you watch the video, and Matthews literally saw it and skated away. This is something that we've seen from this team for a really long time. Am I disappointed? Yes. Should they have done something? Yes. Am I shocked by it? Not in the slightest. Unfortunately, I'm not. I think what they did after the fact is what we've seen from this team. They ended up winning that hockey game, and they have played some of their best hockey since the Olympics. Well, definitely their best hockey since the Olympics. Since that happened, the moment that happened, they came back and won the game, and they've been playing really good hockey since then. So I think that's the response that this team gives, which in a lost season like this one, where the Bruins are going to have your draft pick more than likely, not really the response that everybody wants to see.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, you're looking back, and it's not something that this team does with the team toughness and all that type of stuff. And I mean, on my side, I don't really get the line brawl or that type of thing with the bunch of fighting after that. I don't know if that does anything, but it is good to have some kind of response to be like, this is not something that we're going to tolerate. To our captain, right? The guy's hurt on the ice, and no one's really doing anything to Gudas at all. Gudas, a 5-game suspension after that. Quickly, were you okay with that suspension? I mean, there's been a lot of discourse about was it long enough. 5 games seems to be par for the course for this type of thing. I mean, there's been questioning with Department of Player Safety. There's a whole bunch. We could do a whole podcast on that.
Right.
But, a 5-game suspension, was that warranted? Was it long enough?
I felt like it wasn't long enough. I think once we found out it was going to be the phone hearing, we knew that it was probably going to be the max, which is 5 games, right? If memory serves correctly. So, like, from that standpoint, once we heard it was a phone calling, then we knew, like, okay, that's probably what it is. But before then, I was kind of surprised by that. This is not Gudas' first go around. He's known as a player to kind of mix it up in the dirty areas of the game, right? He's been suspended. I can't remember exactly what it is, but hasn't he been suspended for like 23 games or something? Maybe I have that way wrong, but I'm pretty sure over the course of his career, he's been suspended a lot. So to me, like, track record should matter. And I think what George Perro said, I found was very interesting, that we don't look at the player, we look at the play. And I'm kind of like, what? Really? Like, shouldn't the player matter? Like, if I get, like pulled over for speeding and it's just speeding. But if I have a priors that, I was going to take that example a different way, but I'll keep it with the speeding ticket. But that should matter. So to me, and I know this has nothing to do with the league, this wouldn't factor into anything, but we just saw him take out the captain for Team Canada over the Olympics too, right? So
that's true. Yeah.
Different play. And obviously, I understand not the NHL. That doesn't matter in context of what we're talking about, but it's just we've seen this thing from him many times before. So yes, I was surprised. I thought it should be more. And I thought it should hurt the Ducks more. Like the Ducks are currently leading the division. That in a division that nobody wants, by the way, but that's another podcast for another time. And they are playing the most meaningful hockey that they have played in years right now. And as it stands right now, they have really good position as far as playing the first round wild card matchup, right? So I feel like their captain doing something that he's done a million times before, it should have hurt them more. But that's once again just my opinion. I just thought the comment of we don't look at the player, I just thought that was weird to me.
It's true, and I mean that's kind of a lie because they do in the past, and like first offender, so that they don't get as much. I mean, that's a bit of a
I will say, Maddie, since we're doing this, it's a Leafs show, Leafs news and rumors. I will throw this out there. In my personal life, I don't mind a little conspiracy theory now and then. I can get a little bit loopy and aliens and all that stuff. And I do think the fact that this happened against the Toronto Maple Leafs, I think that matters. I do. Like, I know people from across the country are going to throw rocks at me, but I just think that we have seen plays by members of the Maple Leafs get suspended where other plays by other players and other teams, they either don't get suspended at all or the suspension is far less. Like we have seen that over the years. That's a fact. So I don't know. Does that actually matter? Yes, no. You can put your tinfoil hat on with me. I think that it does matter. And us as Leaf fans will just stand on that everyone hates us and it's just it's just part of it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that is definitely something that's gone around for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, we'll keep it on Matthews because now, I mean, this was before the hit, before he got injured, all that stuff. Is his future in Toronto? I mean, yes, he's the captain of the team, but he's not on a real long-term contract. I mean, when you're looking at it, because when he did sign it, I mean, everyone's like, well, should be longer. Is his future in Toronto for here? Because now there's been rumors about Minnesota Wild have come out as being a potential trade partner for Matthews. We got Connor McDavid kind of talk of future in Edmonton too. So lots of stars being, but is Matthews is future being questioned here?
Yeah. So from a Maple Leafs perspective first, I do think, and we're going to talk about this a little bit later on with regards to Brad Treliving and Craig Berube. It really does depend, obviously, on how deep the Leafs really do want to go in tearing this thing down. Are we talking about now? I have reason to believe that Rogers, who owns the team and the board, that they want to be back in the playoffs as soon as possible, that a whole stripped down rebuild is not on the table. And so if that's the case from a Leafs perspective, he should absolutely be the future. If it's not the case, then, hey man, maybe like there is something there where you can get a haul for this guy. Now, obviously, right? Now from his perspective, this is something that really bothers me, and it's something that bothers me about the market. It's just kind of the way things are. It's not, I'm not complaining about it, but it gets under my skin a little bit, is that Matthews has said a million times that he loves it here and he wants to stay here. I know people can say whatever they want, right? You can say the right thing. What else are you going to say too, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're asked that question. Do you want to be here? Like, what really are you going to say when you have 2 years left on your contract? But I believe him. Now, yes, I think that the media is crazy. I think that the speculation and the rumors is crazy. And would he want to leave? And people are saying, well, his team didn't stick up for him, so now maybe he's gone. It's like, I don't know. Now, what I think is, people were upset that he didn't sign the 8-year deal. McDavid signed what, a 2-year deal or 3-year deal?
I believe it was just
with
2.
the Oilers. It was 2, right?
Yeah.
And what McDavid said was, I want to see that this management group is committed to winning, right? That's kind of paraphrased, but that's basically what he said. I want to see what we're doing before I sign long term. That's what a hockey player says. A Canadian hockey player, an American hockey player like Auston Matthews, I want to be here long term. In actuality, the salary cap is going up by millions and millions every single year. Why would you sign long term? Why? Right? Like, that's where my mind goes. Is this has nothing to do with McDavid not wanting to be over there, nothing to do with Matthews not wanting to be here. It's not about commitment, right? This is about I want as much money as I can possibly get. And so why would I sign long term if the salary cap is going up by like multiple millions every single year, right? So that's where my mind goes. I think this is about money. I think this is a conversation with the Maple Leafs, especially, that's been really frustrating over the years, that, you know, Matthews and Marner and Tavares and Nylander got every penny that they wanted, and that's part of the reason why we're in this mess. So I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm just saying that that's why I think these short-term deals have happened, and I think that's the only reason. I do think he wants to be here. I don't think his future is in question. However, all that being said, it'll be interesting to see what happens as far as, you know, general manager and decisions that are made, whether it's on the roster or off the roster. So I don't think this question can be answered in full right now, but I do think he wants to be a Maple Leaf, at least from his side of the table.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, what else is he going to say in the media? I mean, Quinn Hughes in Vancouver here, he never said he wanted to leave. He kept saying, well, we're going to find out. We're going to see, and ended up, I mean, there's been talk out now that he did want to leave. So, I mean, you never know.
You never know.
Types of stuff, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it just depends. Also, he wants to win. I mean, that's always going to be a big thing. If the Maple Leafs are far away from that happening, he might look at going elsewhere, but we'll see how that goes. Another guy has been in that. You mentioned William Nylander already. There's talk about him being on the trade block as well. I believe he's got a longer term deal still. Is that a possibility? I mean, he's another guy that you could get quite a bit for.
Yeah. Again, like, not to, you know, cop out here. I just, it's hard to know with the management being up in the air and what's going to happen with the management, what's going to happen with the coach. It's hard to know exactly what the Maple Leafs game plan is. For me, I don't know what Nylander's thinking. He, by all accounts, loves it here. I believe he has 5 or 6 years left on his deal. I think 6. Again, something I should know, but I believe it's 6 years left on his deal. Entering next season. His number is a bit more manageable, especially with the salary cap going up. So, you know, he could be traded for, and you're right. You could get a haul for him as well. I think that if the Maple Leafs want this rebuild, retool, whatever the term you want to use, if they want it to be quick and swift, they have to keep Nylander.
Yeah.
I think he's one of those players, you know what you're going to get, man. You're going to get a lot of goals. You're going to get a lot of points. You're going to get some nights where his hair doesn't get wet. That's just kind of the deal, right? And that's just what you get with him. You're going to get incredible plays, heroic plays, and nights where he just doesn't want to back check at all. And that's just what's happened. That's just what that night is going to be, right? You know what you're going to get with him. Obviously, the same can be said for Matthews in the terms of if you want this retool to be swift, that's somebody that goes without being said. So I don't think he's going anywhere. I think it is content to just keep the smoke, keep the furnaces lit in the city of Toronto. That's my opinion. But hey, man, anything's possible with this crazy city. That's for sure.
100%. I mean, whenever there's uncertainty, and I've had lots of it in Vancouver here too.
Oh man, yes, sir.
All the stars are on the block, and that happens. I mean, it's to create stories, and and it can happen. I mean, when there is uncertainty around the team and the future of the team. This is basically, we've been alluding to it all throughout this.
I know.
Here, is Brad Treliving the right GM to lead this? I'm going to call it a reset because no one said rebuild. This is more of a reset. Is he the right guy? I mean, he's very early in his tenure still. I don't know if this is something you want to be doing, firing a GM so early on. But would you be comfortable him handling this?
So number one, I don't think they're going to fire him. I don't think that, Keith Pelly just took over as CEO of Maple Leaf Sports. I don't think that they're going to I just think that he's still figuring things out, getting his feet wet. They're not hiring another president, which is a curious decision in my opinion, but that's another, conversation. So I don't think they're going to let him go. I'll just put that out there. Is he the right GM, man? I don't know, man. I don't know. I just think that Dubas and Shanahan gave him a really tough situation. They signed good players that were really expensive to really hard contracts. And I just think that he was put in a really bad spot right from the get-go. And the players that he brought in, it just didn't work this year. So what I think is going to happen, and there's part of me that thinks this should happen, is, okay, so Dakota Joshua and Michelli and, players like that, this year was doomed from the start. It just never clicked. Chris Tanev's injury, I think, is really important to the trajectory of this season. Matthews hasn't been right all year long. I personally was hoping that they would shut him down for something anyway. So the fact that they were forced to shut him down, I think, is a really good thing. So I can see a world where they bring back relatively the same team. The D-core needs to be beefed up a little bit. They have the goaltenders that they want for the future, at least the short-term future. I can see a world where they give him one more year and just see if maybe this was a bad year, man. Like Tampa Bay missed the playoffs before winning those cups. I think like Dallas was a really good team in the 2010s, missed the playoffs, and now they've made it to three straight conference finals. Like this happens to teams. So maybe I think that they're just going to give him one more year, see if this roster and whatever other pieces that he can add in, see where next year goes. And I think that if they do bring him back, then next year is it. It's like, we have to see something substantial here. So that's what I think will happen. And I think I agree with it. I think that I'm a minority, especially among fans. People want to see that guy out of here. but I feel like that's kind of what
Mm.
we're seeing, which means that we're really not going to know the answer until the end of next season. Feels like.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, we'll see what happens during the offseason here if Treliving does make any major moves or not. Because I mean, the free agent market, I don't know how strong it is. Especially, I mean, it's really tough to tell when you're seeing there could be this guy, there could be that guy, but they all get re-signed. I mean, it's just, it's tough. So I don't know if the free agent market is something that could be used or not. We'll obviously have lots of shows on that during the offseason too. Other guy though is the coach. I mean, Craig Berube is another guy that's very early on. Was this second season behind the bench? Yep. I mean, up and down, I guess mixed reviews where you're kind of looking at he really hasn't brought what everyone kind of was hoping he would. Is he the guy for this, I guess, reset as well?
Yeah, so I really like Craig Berube. I was really happy when they hired him. I think last season we saw kind of a hybrid of his system mixed with the way that these guys have been playing, where you are playing tight, checking, good defense, trying to keep the puck out of your net, but you're also letting your players kind of be creative and the run and gun and all that kind of thing. I think when Marner left, this became a much more Berube style team. And I just don't think they have the horses to play the way he wants to play. I think that you're seeing this team's offensive creativity really stifled because of the way that he wants to play. And quite frankly, the defense this year compared to last year is literal opposite. Almost the same players, just literal. So when you don't have strong defensive play, and not to mention, like, the goaltending recently has been really good, but the goaltending has been really up and down all season. And so when you don't have those two things in place, a Berube style game just isn't that feasible. And I don't know if they have the players. And that's not players as far as good players, bad players. That's just as far as style. Like, I just don't think stylistically they have the players to play his way. So once again, this organization is not trigger happy when it comes to firing people. I actually would be somewhat surprised if he does get fired. I'd never call for someone's job. I don't think he is the right guy moving forward. I just don't think that Treliving has brought him his style of players. And I think, listen, Matthews is one of the best two-way centers in the game. At one point, he was the best. He's a very good defensive player, but he still needs to be free. He still needs to be let loose. Nylander is like the most unstructured player ever, right? Obviously not ever, but you know what I mean. He can't be held to this. Like, sometimes you got to pick and choose who you hold to certain standards. I know not everyone, agrees with that, but sometimes, like my brother had to get his homework done every night. Me, they knew that wasn't going to happen, so they didn't push me, And I think that's the way with Nylander as well. So for me, I don't think he's the right guy moving forward, unless this summer the roster like dramatically changes. But I do think with the talent that they have, specifically Matthews and Nylander, I think they need somebody a bit more offensive minded and a bit more creative. I know this is a completely different situation, but the Dallas Stars, right? Like, they went to 3 straight conference finals and they decided this structure isn't working for these players and we have to move on from this coach. Pete DeBoer is one of the best coaches in the league, and they realize that there's a certain point in the season every year where this system just doesn't work. And now they might win the President's Trophy. So obviously different situations. I'm not comparing A to B. But and like all that being said, I still would be surprised if they pulled the trigger. because they don't really do that.
No, it's true. When you're looking at their past, it took forever for them to to fire Sheldon Keefe, and everyone's saying he should have been gone a few seasons ago. But they kept bringing him back and hoping that he'd figure it out. But it ultimately never happened. We'll see when it all. I mean, there's always going to be talk when there's not success, and that's where Berube might. I do agree with that. I think when he was hired, I wasn't sure because I'm like, I don't know if they have the players for him, what they think he's going to bring as a coach. I don't know. I think Bruce Boudreau might be a good coach for this team. I mean, I know from experience in Vancouver here, he was actually quite good for the team. Defensively, not so much, but I still believe he should be still coach, but that's a whole Canucks thing. But yeah, it is going to be interesting to see what happens with Treliving and Berube, if they're both long-term fixtures in this market or not. And until they have success, I guess we'll have those question marks. But yeah, we'll see. Quickly to end the show here, there's mentioned the end of the season here is coming up. We might have another show before that. We will probably. But what do you think over these next couple weeks? What are your expectations? I mean, obviously, they're probably not going to make the playoffs. Like I say, it's very, very, very tough for that to happen. But what are you looking for? Is it, young players getting put in more, or what are your expectations?
I think that's it, right? Is what are we getting from the young players? Seeing Callan get more playing time, seeing Bo, who's been like a revelation the last week and a bit. Watching him. There are some players on like the back end who have been called up who have been getting time. I think it's important for the goaltenders just to play well. And it's been a tough season for them as well, as far as health and consistency. Yeah. They've been really good lately. I think that's important just to get that confidence back. And then as far as the team as a whole, I think just lose. Like what the fan base wants is lose every game like 3-2 or 4-3, 5-4, like lose really competitive hockey games. When Mike Babcock first got here, that was the tank season. Like they would lose every night 3-2, 2-1. And they got Matthews, right? But it was like, hey, we're actually watching. Like that was the real tough part watching this team was like, yes, that like little winning streak before the Olympics was, maybe something can happen. But what it was more of disappointing after that was like this team just they're not even like there. Like they're not even playing. Like, what are we even doing? Like, it wasn't competitive. It looked like they weren't trying, which you're never actually going to accuse a professional athlete of. But it just looked. It was like, what are we even watching? And so, the last few games, like that game against Buffalo on Saturday, was a really good hockey game, and Buffalo found a way to win. They're the better team. Which I feel like I'm in the twilight zone saying that sentence. So like that's kind of what we want to see but that is hoping that the Leafs lose enough to sneak into the bottom 5 of the league
and grab that pick back.
Right? I'm not confident that's going to happen. If you're in the bottom 10, the ping pong balls. I mean, the Islanders got the first round pick and they should not have last season, right? So, true. I mean, anything can happen with regards to that. But I think that's kind of what we're looking at, right? Is just young players, goaltending. I think, like I said, for Matthews to be shut down, I think that they probably should have anyway. So for him to not be there, I think is a blessing in this. Not even disguise. It's a blessing. It's the most obvious blessing that there is. And I just think that want to see them lose every game like 3-2, 4-3. But I don't know if they're going to get that first round pick back, everybody. I don't know. That doesn't feel promising, but that's what I would say.
We'll see what ends up happening here. I mean, yeah, the draft though, I mean, the Maple Leafs might end up getting the first round pick or not. And it'd be great to get a first round pick back. Especially in a season that's a lost season. You're not going to make the playoffs, and you might not end up with a first round pick in this draft. So we'll see if anything will happen. No, they do have a first round pick now with the Nick Waugh trade. So they are back.
So that, if I'm not mistaken, that's next
or did they
season?
Next season's first rounder. So they still don't.
Yeah,
I was right.
Yeah, top 10 protected. Yeah, top 10 protected.
Right, the first. I should just stay with my first instinct.
Just be wrong confidently, Matt. Just be wrong confidently. Just own it. You know what I mean? People respect that.
There we go. All right. Well, we'll see what happens with the rest of the season for the Maple Leafs, but lots of stuff going around. Like I say, this episode was almost 35 minutes or over 35 minutes long. So lots of stuff to talk about in Maple Leafs land. So thanks, Mark, for coming on, talking Maple Leafs. Make sure to check out everything at thehockeybears.com. We got Maple Leafs articles every day. Lots of content out there to take a look at. And take a look at our Substack newsletter. If you haven't subscribed to that, subscribe, because you'll be up to date with all the articles and content on the site. But yeah, enjoy the games, even though the Maple Leafs don't look like the postseason is going to be in their future for the first time in a long time, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, make sure to check all that out. And until our next episode, we will see you next time.